Hey, how's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the FireStorm podcast. We are bringing you a special episode today. Not only am I always joined by the other member of FireStorm, Gus, here.
Hi.
We have a special guest here today in the form of Divide Music.
Hello. How's it going?
How's it going, Mike?
What a first impression that was.
Ooh,
oh,
damn.
hell yeah. We're off to a great start.
Lovely to meet you. So we will be calling Divide by his name, Alex, because names.
We're all homies here. We're chilling.
And also because I find it difficult just calling Gus Silver. I think that's...
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Yes. Like, do people often come up to you and just call you Divide? Like,
Well,
is that a thing?
A lot of the guys that do what I do in the community, they all call me that, even though they all know my name. Because like we just recently had this thing in Nashville called NPC, where it was like this. It's they coined the phrase Nerdcore PartyCon, and it's like a convention, but it's like a mini convention where they had this.
You know what? I think I heard about this. Yeah.
Oh, did you really?
I'm like 3 hours down the road from Nashville, so yeah.
Oh shit! Okay, yeah. So, because they a couple of the guys even went on the fucking news to promote it, which was really interesting.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I was like, what the hell? So, but no,
Nerdcore PartyCon, like on the main like local news, they come up with like, oh yeah, we're gonna be playing some fucking anime songs,
video game anime music.
Oh, dude, it was so.
I'm sure the
cool.
60-year-old men watching the local news loved that.
Oh yeah, dude, they all came. It was awesome. Yeah, no, it was cool though, because it was like this little thing where they had like 100 people came to a concert where like all the nerdcore people performed. But yeah, like everyone was calling me by that, even people that know me personally. So that's why I was saying to you before, I was like, you can call me that because like that's everyone calls me that.
You're just used to it.
Yeah.
I was at a convention recently and had this guy that I've been messaging back and forth recently come up to me and address me by Silver, and I was like, dude, don't fucking call me that. That's fucking weird.
No. it's just in person. It's just like so weird.
It's like, my name's Gus. Just you call me that. Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah.
Well, luckily, I am my name. I am Trent.
Yeah,
so
good for you. Well, you must be nice.
Yeah.
I didn't have to be that creative.
It was quick thinking.
Yeah. Imagine using your name. Can't really.
Well, luckily everyone's just like, well, why the why? And I'm like, you will not know. This is my secret.
Trent hasn't even told me. It's a personal secret, apparently.
Trent _y. And look, and by the way, before you question it, I know it's an underscore.
He calls it underdash.
I was very young.
Trent is, yeah.
I was very young when I called it an underdash. I know it's not underdash. Because people...
Well, that's like when people call it a dash when it's actually called a hyphen.
Right?
Yeah. That's probably how I ended up why I called it underdash.
Or an under hyphen.
Because like, I'm not going to go online and just call myself Trent Y, and I'm just like, that doesn't make any sense. So, fuck it. I found a rhythm. I'm going. But then
underdash kind of sounds like some kind of like weird like rip-off superhero from like DC or something, like a rip-off DC superhero. Yeah, exactly.
I was told it sounds like it's just a move you would perform in a video game, just like when you're low dashing.
Underdash,
go. Damn. So, all right. So, anyway, in this special episode, we went way off.
We're off to a great start. Let's go, boys.
This is how FireStorm goes. We just tangent all the fucking time. So we're going to be talking about just stuff in general that we all enjoy. We're going to be bringing up video games, bringing up anime, just stuff like that, and maybe life if you guys want to talk about that. But life kind of sucks for everyone at the minute, so you know what? It's up to you.
It's fucking deep shit.
Yep, getting emotional. But so we just want to talk about Divide. So how did you start off getting into music with video games and anime? Because I see a lot of artists, especially like even you included, Gus, they're just like, oh, anime is an awesome thing. I'm going to write music about it. Like what was your anime? Woo!
If you'll allow me to chime in real quick first, it's partially just like it's different for everyone, but it's what gets you inspired. Like if you really find yourself enjoying the anime, then you're like, man, I want to write a song about this, you know, and that's like creatively satisfying as well. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's partially that, but yeah, that's how kind of how it is for me. It's like, because most people write songs inspired by like life or whatever, but if you find yourself, it's kind of similar. It's just like anime has like a stigma against it, basically. Like if you write songs about anime, you're a fucking nerd or some shit, But it's pretty much the same. It's pretty much the same concept as writing songs about your life or whatever. Like it's just whatever you feel inspired to write something about, pretty much.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice. You've been watching a lot of the anime. Like I'm only assuming you've been watching the anime you've been writing songs about recently. Divide. What do you think about them? Because I haven't watched My Hero Academia or anything of the sorts.
Right.
So, what do you think of them?
About those animes in particular?
Yeah, like what are some recent ones you've gotten into?
Oh gosh. Well, I was telling Trent before that I'm actually really new to anime. I only started really watching it probably like 4 or 5 months ago. I mean, I grew up watching, like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff, but I never really got into like anime.
High five.
Yeah, of course. I mean, yeah, I didn't even know those were animes back then. So I was just just watching it, But no, like for me, the first anime I watched was Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and as requested,
well, that's a good place to start. At least that's a good place to start.
Oh no, it was fantastic. That show is just unbelievable. So like that pulled me into it, and I wrote a song about it, and then it kind of just went on from there, where I watched Seven Deadly Sins, which is another one I really really like, and then I'm all caught up with My Hero because they just started the new season, so I'm all caught up with that. And
season 4 is coming out right now, isn't it?
Yeah, they're on like the 4th episode's coming out next, I believe. They just released the 3rd one.
Nice.
But yeah, no, it's pretty new for me. I didn't really watch any of this growing up. I had friends that did, but it wasn't until recently where that's like pretty much what I watch now. So yeah.
Nice. Yeah. We were just talking about this actually the other day, maybe yesterday, like how
it was yesterday.
Shut up. It was yesterday.
It was.
We just watch YouTube in general because like we subscribe to a lot of channels and that. There's a lot of content on YouTube. But in just more recent times, at least like for me, it's just starting to become a little bit more boring just watching the same content from the same people. So it's kind of like I haven't really caught up on anime in a long time. Like got into it years ago, haven't caught up on it in a while, and I'm kind of just like, well, why don't I just watch anime instead of YouTube?
Right.
And it'll be like, whoa.
Yeah,
Dude,
it was the same thing for me. Like Trent and I were talking about this. It's like we kind of threw on YouTube whenever we got bored, but in recent weeks for me, I've been like, I've felt deprived of some good anime content. So I've been, instead of throwing on like a YouTube video, I'll throw on like a show or whatever. Right. And all of a sudden I've watched like 3 or 4 shows in the past 2 weeks, like, so it's just about like actually making that commitment to watch it. Like that's all it is really.
Right.
You just have to like, you have to be like, all right, I'm gonna sit the fuck down and I'm gonna watch this show. Like,
especially since TV is nothing but reruns in climate change. So you kind of just like, well,
right.
And you have to pay for you have to pay some heavy money for fucking cable and all that shit. No thanks. I don't have that kind of money.
No,
I'm broken in college. Fuck that.
I actually haven't paid for cable in like 3 or 4 years because it's not.
I can't even blame you.
I have no need to have it. I mean, I have Netflix, Hulu.
That's all you really need.
And if you ever do care about the news, I'm sure the iPhone news app can supply you
right.
with enough.
Literally just go on Twitter. You'll find
Twitter
everything
news.
you need to know.
You find it out before even like most outlets do. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it pops up there first generally. So that's
why does
my
TVs
news.
Let's move this into a TED talk. Why does TV still exist? It's just like
it's fucking
dumb. If video
Mm-hmm.
killed the radio star, why can't YouTube kill the television star? I mean, come on. But just everyone from TV's
because everyone
already
gets
moving to
demonetized.
YouTube.
That's why.
Yeah, it's just like, the only reason YouTube hasn't taken over is because of that yellow button. God fucking damn it.
They certainly have enough money to. They're fucking like how many $1 billion their net worth at this point? God,
Too many
ridiculous.
$1 billion.
Well, did you know that Google hasn't actually made profit for like years?
I do recall reading something about how YouTube has been actually a bit of a loss.
Yeah.
And they've been a bit of a loss.
It's
well, then again, you look at Google, and it's just like, it's Google. I mean, surely they're better off anyway. I'm surely they're fine.
yeah. Well, yeah.
I feel like once you rich enough, you kind of stagnate anyway. You know, like once you have once you make enough economic profit, you're just like you just kind of start stagnating. Like if you're a multi-billion-dollar company, you're not going to be like, oh yeah, let's keep raking in that money, and you just keep going up. Like there's got to be a limit somewhere, right? Yeah, so that kind of makes sense to me.
I think YouTube's at a point though where it costs. It's like if they sold it, it would be worth so much money because it's like such a widely used, reliable platform for so many people around the world. Where it doesn't generate as much money, I think, as people think it does, because they haven't made much profit on it. Weirdly enough,
how much money do you think Susan would sell it for?
Oh gosh.
I got a tenner over here, jeez. Go, Susan.
$10, your name on it.
Just an eBay auction for YouTube. Hell yeah.
I got
Sick.
$10 with your name on it.
Well, if you've only just been getting into anime, what about video games? Because I know at least you and Fable were doing video game music a long time. Like, I think it's just more recently I've noticed you and Fable get into anime music. So, what about some of your favorite video games? Like, how do you kind of draw stuff from them?
So are you talking about just favorite video games in general, or like video games?
Start there, yeah.
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Favorite video games in general. I'm not going to lie. I have a massive obsession with Spider-Man. So the Spider-Man PS4 game is in recent time has been one of my all-time favorites. Just because it's Spider-Man. I'm not even kidding. So amazing because I want to, be him as soon as possible. So,
Makes sense.
I mean, more like notably, I have some pretty generic answers just because a lot of people love these ones, but I mean, obviously the Zelda franchise is fantastic. It's one of my favorites.
Yell at Trent. He's never played them.
Shut up.
Yikes.
Yeah, I know, right? I know.
Dude, and just to disappoint you even further, I don't have a PS4, so I haven't played the Spider-Man.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
It's seriously.
I'm sorry.
That's you have a lot to work on.
Yeah,
but
Lee's call, disappointed. Fuck this shit. He doesn't even know Zelda. Lee's call.
Zelda. I mean,
I get enough slack from Gus because, like, literally, you look at our logo, like, you look at us, our rendition. He's got the Triforce on his fucking jacket, so
dude.
You can kind of get how much at least Gus is in a Zelda. So
oh yeah, no, Zelda's fantastic. I mean. Just to name off a couple other ones that are just like they're so obviously fantastic, but like the Uncharted series, The Last of Us, like just Naughty Dog in general.
Nice.
I love I don't know how other people pronounce this, but Deus Ex Human Revolution. That's another
Deus Ex, I think is right. Yeah.
yeah.
I haven't really. I wasn't a huge fan of the newest one, but Human Revolution. I've played that game so many times, it's ridiculous. But I mean, and even going as far back as when I was younger, like on PS1, I was playing, obviously like Crash Bandicoot and crap like that. But like growing up playing Final Fantasy 7, 10, and 14, and 12, and pretty much just a lot of those.
You ready for that remake?
Yes, I am.
Dude. It looks so good.
Oh yeah, no, I'm pumped.
We did a collab with my friend Tamisha a few videos back on my channel, and she, like, literally every single day on Twitter, she's retweeting Final Fantasy VII remake stuff, and I'm just like, dude. so I know there's so much hype around it, though.
It looks really good.
It does.
But I just want to say, okay, so I'm a little bit older than you guys. I'm 27. I have been talking, well, not to the same person, but because he's just like an old childhood friend of mine. But I remember talking with an old friend of mine named Mark about how much we want a remake of 7 back in like 2005, 2007.
God.
we
Nice.
this is like this has been
So this is a
something
long time coming for you.
anticipated. Oh yeah, like I am very excited, and like we all knew it was going to happen, but you know, a lot of people speculated it'd be on PS3, and then it obviously wasn't. And now that it's coming, it's like, oh, okay, here we go. Let's do this. Oh, and also another huge franchise I'm in love with is the Metal Gear franchise as well.
Ooh, nice.
So I'm familiar with most of those, although I said I don't have a PS4, I did on occasion go over to my brother's place and play The Last of Us because he's got all the PlayStations, and I love The Last of Us. Good stuff. Metal Gear.
Game.
I'm alright. I'm alright with Metal Gear. I have a slight edge towards Rising Revengeance just because I love the hack and slash and all that stuff. It's completely the opposite of normal Metal Gear, but I love it. I don't give a shit.
No.
Rising Revengeance was dope.
Yeah, no, that was really cool. It's funny actually. As much as I'm a huge fan of Metal Gear, I actually was not like I respect it for what it is, but I'm more of Metal Gear 1 through 4. I couldn't get into 5. For some reason,
I've heard a lot of controversy around 5 though.
A lot of people
unwarranted.
like 5 that, at least from what I find, it's almost like Breath of the Wild. A lot of people like Breath of the Wild, and a lot of people like Metal Gear 5, and that never played the previous ones. Because this might be controversial to say too. I do like Breath of the Wild, but it's not my favorite personally.
That's fair. Like there are a lot of great Zelda games. It's like it is my personal favorite, but there are a lot of great Zelda games. Like, you know, you could name any one of the 3Ds and they're all fantastic.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, dude, like that's not controversial. Controversial is like going up and say, "Dude, Breath of the Wild's the worst game ever." And you're just
The worst game ever made.
So, no, I don't think that's controversial. I mean, it's controversial enough that I haven't fucking played a Zelda game. So,
yeah.
You know
You got a problem.
Dude, shut up. I want to get a Switch soon because if Diamond and Pearl remakes happen, I'm getting a Switch. So
fair enough.
If you couldn't tell, mate, Alex, I'm very out of tune with everything.
I can tell that.
Literally, ever since I just started focusing more on writing, just anime and video games have just kind of just fallen to the wayside. So I'm kind of like, well, I need to get back into this shit because there's so much good stuff coming out, and now I've actually got money. So it's just kind of like, dude, I need to get a Switch.
I can pay for a legal streaming service.
I need to get a Crunchyroll membership right now. But
Crunchyroll Premium. Wow.
Not sponsored, but
yeah.
Hey, Crunchyroll, if you want to sponsor us.
No, dude. Yeah, definitely sponsor us and our hashtag penis on every single fucking
dude,
day
have
on
you seen?
Twitter,
I mean, they love it. They already. I know they would.
They would bullshit, but the confidence in this bloody podcast with 8 subscribers is through the roof.
Hey, listen.
So
you gotta start somewhere.
That's true. That is true.
So Alex, you were talking about
once upon a time we had 8 subscribers. You know, look at us now. Not 8 anymore.
Yay! Good job. It took like 10 years. I'm proud of you guys. So, Alex, you were talking about what may be interested in starting a podcast of your own. Actually,
yeah. No, I've always wanted to. Just the timing for me right now, especially since I'm moving and there's just a lot of stuff going on. It is big
convenient to start a podcast. You know, you're trying to start a podcast. Moving houses is definitely an obstacle.
Countries, even, yeah, yeah. So
we as well as that, like the annoying thing with us, at least, like we pre-record episodes, and that's good because we can keep nailing down content on a weekly basis. But then something happens within the topic of discussion that we miss out on.
Yeah,
because it
sometimes
later.
So sometimes like the episode will come out and it'll be a little bit out of date. So that's a little bit that kind of sucks. But
yeah, as I said earlier, we're into wrestling, and our wrestling episode is already out of date because a fucking hilarious meme happened on
Fucking Kenny Omega coming out dressed as Sans. What a fucking lad.
So a wrestler dressed up as Sans from Undertale.
Full costume, mask, and everything. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
What the hell?
And Megalovania was playing. Don't worry about that. It was playing.
I would have lost my shit. It was literally in West Virginia. I could have driven there. I'm so upset that I didn't.
Dude, I'm in a different country. How do you think I feel?
Hey, man.
I'm depressed.
At least it was like already ruled out for you. I didn't realize it was going to be in West Virginia. Like, I could have driven here from Tech all the way up. Like, that would have taken like 2 hours. It wouldn't have been that far. But, you know, whatever.
Shame.
Yeah, shame on me, for real. I should have gone.
Anyway,
I would have lost my shit when Megalovania started playing. I would have absolutely fucking lost it. I probably would have had an aneurysm.
God. Well, anyway, enough of the wrestling tangent, which I'm sure you don't understand, Alex. Apologies for that.
It's okay.
Because literally everyone was, even non-wrestling fans were just like, dude, one of the biggest wrestlers in the world is coming out dressed as Sans. This is amazing. So that was kind of a big deal that we missed out on because we pre-record episodes. So have fun with that. Yeah. Oh well. What a shame. But
at least we got it now. Talk about it now. It's okay.
Mention it. But yeah. So how long have you been making music? Because you mentioned earlier, at least to me, that you've been making music, but only in the past few years you've gotten into the idea of video game and anime music. So how long have you actually been doing music for?
Actually creating music. Oh man. I started playing guitar when I was 13, 14.
Oof. Nice.
So it's been a little while.
Jinx, bitch.
Yeah, it's been a little while. Me and Fable were in bands together, so we had like at one point we had a metalcore band that he screamed in and I played guitar in, and
hell yeah,
fantastic.
And then you know, just all kinds of stuff. I mean, in terms of like it's to the caliber of like what I do now, that didn't really start until I started doing YouTube, where I got really into production and engineering, and I was like, I really want to try and produce music that sounds like good. I know I'll never be able to be as pro as pros, but I try my best to make it sound good. So like that is one of the biggest things personally I always strive for, and that I've always been really interested in. So that only really started a few years ago, but just music in general. I mean, I've been playing guitar and singing and being in bands and stuff like that pretty much since I was like in freshman or sophomore of high school.
Nice.
On and off.
So long ass time.
It's been a while, yeah, because I graduated in 2010. I graduated high school in 2010. So
gotcha.
Yeah, it's been.
So it has been a long ass time.
Well, here's another question. We were talking about it earlier about vocal warm-ups and how Gus goes through it. I
only recently started to go through it because I used to be too stubborn to do it. I would just like, all right, I would have a song and it would just be like, all right, it needs vocals. Time to start recording, and I would skip it entirely. And then I would find I had trouble hitting those high notes well, and then I was like, all right, fuck it, I gotta warm up.
We have come to learn though that you, Alex, don't do vocal warm-ups. Now, normally me not being a musician would be like, okay, that's no big deal. But then I hear you smashing those notes like Lion Sin in that fucking chorus. Like, how do you not destroy your throat? That is amazing.
Oh,
that is.
Well, I mean, if you can pull it off, I mean, shit. Why even bother?
Listening to you now and having a conversation, you got a fairly deep voice, but then you just. Fuck! I don't know. Like, it's amazing how you're able to pull
Dark
that off.
magician, clearly.
Oh my gosh! Well, first of all, thank you. Yeah, this will make any musicians that hear this will or I should say, like people that do things the right way, because you should warm up. I mean, I should warm up, but I don't. I also do something that makes people extra triggered. Because I posted this on Twitter probably like 4 months ago. I posted it was a dumb tweet. All I posted was, when I record vocals, I sit. I'm in my chair. I sit down. Yeah. And so I had so many people on there being like, oh my, how on earth could you do that? Like that's not good. Like you need to stand up, and they're not wrong, but I'm lazy. So I don't stand up when I sing because I don't want to keep turning around, or you know what I mean? And so there was just some people that in the community that do what I do that were just like completely taken back by what I said. But yeah, I do everything wrong. I sit down, I don't warm up.
Dude,
yeah,
it's.
I'm just imagining a guy slouching in his chair, just going lions,
just a guy just looking like the most apathetic possible, and he just absolutely smashes it.
Just imagine you on stage, just in a fucking deck chair, just like, oh yeah.
And then he just got this idea. Shit. It's like he comes on, he's like, "Ladies and gentlemen, divide music," and he's just like, "Where's my fucking chair?" He just sits down, he just pulls out a chair, just sits down, slouches. How y'all doing today? Y'all doing good?
Yeah,
all right, fantastic. Time to get this fucking started. And he just like absolutely smashes it.
Dude, actually,
incredible.
Something really funny. So at NPC, what I was talking about earlier, I was the only one that didn't play with a backing track. Because I just can't do that. I asked if I could play one of my songs acoustic, so I did. So I was the only one that sat down on my performance.
Nice.
It was awesome.
Because literally, like, from I've talked to a few musicians here and there. I've got another American friend, Jenna, who literally has just started a metalcore band. And, dude, her vocals shred. But it's just like, you hear everyone about, like, you talk to people about warm-ups, about how their methods of singing and all that. Standing, sitting up straight, there are different ways of, like, different techniques of breathing even. And it's just like, well, how the fuck does someone just sit down and not warm up their vocals and then do that type of shit and kill it? It's just like, it's amazing. I'm hoping you to throw out your voice box for the next 5 years, man.
Yeah, well, it's funny actually, because like for me, I don't actually feel like I sing very high, so that's a huge compliment that you think I do. Because there's people that can sing a lot. Like obviously there are, but there are to me a lot of people that sing
that's
a lot
how
higher.
I feel as well. It's like there's always going to be someone that does something a little bit better than you. You know,
right?
No matter how good you are.
No one likes the sound of their own voice, though. So no one ever is going to.
You know what? It took me a very long
song.
time to get adjusted to the way I sounded when I did vocals and stuff. Because especially when I first started a couple of years back, I was like, "Oh, this sounds fucking disgusting," and and it was just like, and so it took me a long while to get adjusted to it. But after a little while, like after a couple of years, I was like, okay, I'm used to it now. So
right.
But it does take some getting used to, especially when you do all the production yourself and that kind of stuff. You have to like get adjusted to it because you're listening back to your own voice like a bunch of times over to make sure the whole song sounds right when you're producing it and stuff. It's just, it is like when you're first starting out, like it is off-putting to hear your own voice like that.
Right.
But yeah.
Dude, Divide. Literally, when I first met Gus, and literally I was talking to him about creating a song in release of my book, I sung for my own song, and it is the most atrocious thing I've ever heard in my life.
Very good, very good.
I love the instrumental.
Oh, perfect.
But literally, even amongst my mates...
I fucking killed it!
Dude, even amongst my mates, that song is just like a meme now. Because of like my vocals.
Hey,
and,
my beautiful instrumental has been turned into a meme. Fuck!
If it makes you feel any better, I have a whole just repertoire of stuff that is absolutely terrible. So
oh my god, yeah, me too.
Doing what I do, so... you know, but you know, like I was just gonna say on Lion's Den, that one in particular, and I'm not saying this to brag at all because it's, to me it's not, because I didn't feel like I was singing that high in that song. Like the part that you're talking about when they say like I am the Lion's Den.
Yeah, right in the chorus, like right in the dead of the chorus, I believe.
Yeah,
like, the music just quiets down. It's just you smashing that word out, and it's just like oof.
Yeah.
Damn.
No, like it's funny singing like that actually doesn't hurt my voice at all. Like because you know.
Well, I've been there too.
Like
it makes sense to me. I've been there. Like sometimes you just do it and it just happens. You just go.
Yeah, I've been doing this for obviously like 2 years now, so I guess my voice maybe has gotten used to it. But I've always had like. and I don't know where it comes from, but you know, because you obviously heard my music, like there's like that general raspiness. I don't know where that comes from, and that's just how I sound when I sing like loudly. So I don't know.
It's just like if it works, I mean,
if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I try not to.
Yeah.
Actually, I was playing in drop C sharp, and now I'm in drop C. So
do you do all your songs in like the same key?
So when I don't do metal, it just depends, because I usually start all my songs on piano when I'm figuring out what I'm going to do.
Yeah, same.
But with metal music, like I usually don't change the tuning of my guitar. But I recently did, because the song that I just released, in the chorus, I wanted to hit a note that was just out of my range, so I ended up detuning and having the song half a step lower. So it's drop C. And actually, just to interject on throwing your voice out, the song I'm doing right now that's coming out next Friday, it's for Attack on Titan.
Ooh,
and
nice.
I'm singing in that song. Like, just remember, if you hear it, just remember that on the verses, that hurt what I was doing. It did not feel good.
I'll keep an ear out for it.
Yeah, this episode probably isn't going to come out to like mid-November or something.
So it'll be out by now.
It'll be out by then. Like, because we're planning on
give us the title. Come on.
Well, you know what? We could release it earlier, because initially we were going to release this in conjunction as a special with the anime episode. But this has just got about every single topic we want. Like, literally, this is everything but anime. So, you know, we could just release it.
Yeah, I mean, we did reference the anime episode, but yeah.
We did reference that we were having a guest on.
I mean, if you wanted, we could throw out the Skillet episode, just make the anime one episode 3.
Ooh. I don't know.
I didn't think throw it out.
I need to talk about logistics during the episode,
I like
right?
how we're deciding
Fuck,
this right now.
shit.
we don't need to talk about
come on,
logistics
Alex, give
during
us
the
the
episode,
title.
guys.
Come on.
God fucking damn it. All right. Anyway,
what's the title?
Back to our random topic of bullshit.
Wait, hold on. I have to ask. What are you asking me? The title of
What's
what?
the title? The title of the song. Come on.
Of the song that I'm doing?
Yes.
Do I have a title? I have all the lyrics written. Do I have one? Hold on.
What the fuck is his name?
Do I
what
have
is
a
the song
title?
called?
Me too, honestly.
Let me see.
The Titan.
I don't actually have a title. Dang,
damn.
I
That's a
should
problem.
probably make one. I have paragraphs written. I mean, the lyrics are all done, but I just don't have a title decided. So I'll have to figure that out. Future Alex, Future Alex has decided, and I appreciate it.
Here's a reminder 3 weeks in advance from the past, from the future, because this isn't coming out for a while. Shit. No.
Hopefully everyone likes it. I think people will. It's definitely my heaviest song I've ever done.
Nice.
So, just a lot of, it's pretty fast. I think it's like 180 BPM and a lot of like triplets and stuff like that. So it's
180 BPM heavy.
Dude,
that
that's
would be
hot.
good.
Yeah, it wasn't easy. You should be. It wasn't easy. It was really fun, but like the song has a lot of elements. There's even a breakdown in the song where my friend Fable's going to be featuring on, hopefully. And so anyways, it's probably my most like my heaviest and my most technical song. Because you remember how you were coining the phrase that like a lot of what I do is like generally it's like more simple.
Yeah.
I actually growing up played a lot of like symphonic metal and a lot of things like that. And I don't generally introduce that into my channel just because my audience has never heard a lot of metal from me, though a lot of the audience that's coming in now really like it. So I'm kind of like just transitioning where because I love playing more technical stuff on guitar, but I just have been keeping it kind of low key for a while and just focusing more on the songs themselves. But I hope to eventually.
It's a good place to start, though. It's more important to focus on the compositions when you're like just getting the production off the ground and stuff like that.
Right.
Because the stuff I write is still like very simple. Like I don't really try to go out of my way to like really like overcomplicate things if I don't want to or if I don't have to for the song. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's not necessary if like unless that's the kind of song you're going for. So
no, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, and with anime though, it does allow me to get more technical, obviously, just because generally anime intros and stuff like that are just
oh my
awesome
god, don't
metal
even get me
music.
started.
So yeah, exactly. So
I'm
we'll
just
see.
right now. I'm just right now thinking of the Attack on Titan OP, and I'm just like, God.
Dude,
fuck.
that's a sin and this and
Jesus Christ, that was good timing. Fuck.
So good.
All right. No, that was good.
What does that mean, by the way? Does anyone have the translation for that? That
It's
opening
Japanese.
line?
I don't know,
No,
man.
it's German.
I don't. Oh,
the first
fuck
line.
you. I don't care.
damn
German.
it.
I don't know.
It never impacted my view on the show, so I never looked.
No, I never even
yep,
knew it
that's
was
fair.
German. I don't care. But no, that's sick. But yeah, fair enough, man. Oh, once we come up with a name for the Attack on Titan song, I'm sure we'll be able to plug it in the little iCard box thingy, just to let people know. Hey,
I still have barely figured out how to use the iCard, to be perfectly honest with you.
dude, how?
Really? You just
I'm
click
all
on
about
add
them-
card.
I'm
And then
all
you
about
just
them
pick a
end
timeline.
screens and iCards, bro. I'm all about them.
Yeah, I use the end screen sometimes, but it's like whenever I try to do the iCard, I've used it a couple times, but I'm just like sometimes I'm just too lazy, and then I have to pick out the exact spot where I want to plug something. I'm like,
Well, fuck it. Since we're literally talking about everything, Alex, what do you think about the state of YouTube? It's just like, what do you think about
the
YouTube?
state
at the
of
minute?
YouTube?
Well, because it's not everyone likes the way YouTube's heading with the fucking everything. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, how is it as a music producer? Like, how is it working for you at the minute? Like, is YouTube doing good for you? Like, especially because YouTube sucks ass sometimes. Because I'm sure
Pardon me.
you would have ran into at least one copyright issue using Black Clover or Attack on Titan in your videos. Like, I'm sure you would have ran into some issues before.
So, surprisingly, no. I actually have had a fairly good time being on YouTube, with the exception of the one thing that does get claimed very, very quickly are movies. So, because I've done songs for movies as well, and so Marvel's really good about it. They don't claim, but when I did a song, it was like my third song I did for it, and it got claimed like right away because I was using footage from the trailers
Interesting.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And most anime companies don't actually care or claim. So, because I actually know there's a guy named Rustage, and like None Like Joshua. They all do, and like another one called Game Boy Jones. They all do anime as well, more predominantly than I have. They've been doing it for quite a while, and they haven't had any issues. Now, I have an update to this though, because there was one company in particular recently that decided to Rustage had done a Tokyo Ghoul song, and they actually went out of their way to strike his channel,
Oh shit!
which was
Wow.
kind of crazy. We're like, what the heck? But he had told me, he was like, I actually have known that the company themselves are not fans of people using their footage, so it doesn't surprise me that this happened. But yeah, I mean, other than that, that like literally happened less than a week ago. Other than that, I don't run into issues. Video games, not really, especially since all of it is pretty much free promotion for the shows and for the games and for the movies. I mean, that's all we're
and
doing.
it's not like you're using like audio content from any of the shows you're
Right.
So it shouldn't
Right.
really be a problem realistically. And,
It's
and
not.
all the
It's
footage
within-
all the footage use falls under fair use, I think, right?
It does. And the reason for that is because it's one thing to upload an episode of something. It's
Yeah.
another thing to have a compilation of clips that you've put together yourself and that you make a video for.
Like,
Which is what I do.
It would count as transformative, wouldn't it? Because
Yeah.
you're kind of like you're reusing parts of it, but you're also it's for a different purpose. So,
Yeah. No, exactly.
Actually, in reference to what you were saying, like they use a lot of anime content apart from Tokyo Ghoul, and like and they don't get striked down. That actually makes so much more sense. Why you see just full anime episodes on YouTube? If you search hard enough, you'll find them. They're just they're there. It's just like, well, shit. Like, no, that makes so much sense. They just don't. It's like they don't even bother looking at YouTube to claim much. But I think, do you reckon the reason the Tokyo Ghoul, like the reason they've been claimed is because everyone's just memeing the shit out of the ending of Tokyo Ghoul, where the fucking one guy's just carrying his dead mate. It's just like, just fucking. I just imagine that there's just like no one can meme us anymore. Claim
they'll never make fun of our show.
Fucking. Well, everyone's gonna hate me. Tokyo Ghoul is again a show I haven't seen. Many shows I haven't seen.
I haven't seen it either.
I haven't seen it.
It was good.
Do
We're all in this together. Extra? Put your hands in, lads. We haven't seen Tokyo Ghoul.
Yay!
This is like not even exaggeration on the Tokyo Ghoul thing. The night before Rustage came out the next day saying that had happened on Twitter, I was sending I don't know if you guys have the app Marco Polo, but I was sending my friend Fable a Marco Polo, and I was just saying to him, I was like, hey man, I'm listening to Rustage's Tokyo Ghoul song right now, and the show looks really, really cool and interesting. I think I'm gonna watch it and make a song about it. And I'm not even kidding, that happened in less than like 6 hours later.
Nice.
I was like, what?
6 hours later, no.
Definitely not. The only way I'll do it is like with a still image on the screen or something.
Yeah. Dude, like those video effects where it's just like playing the music audio, like what are those jumpy video? What are those video effects? Some
like audio visualizer.
Yeah, the audio
like
visualizers.
That's sick.
Yeah,
they are really cool.
FL Studio. Boom.
Yeah, man.
Dude, I don't know how to use this thing.
It's called Z Game.
Yeah, Z Game Editor Visualizer. If I'm not mistaken.
Yep, I've used that before.
I'm only just getting good with Photoshop. I mean, come on. It's just...
it's so easy, dude. It is so easy. Like, you watch one tutorial on it, you can make a video.
Yeah, that's how a lot of shit is in, like, FL Studio. It seems really complicated, but you just have to, like, once you watch, like, a 5-minute tutorial and it's like, I'm an expert. Wow.
No, but maybe I'm just a little bit stupid then, because I've got, like, literally...
Well, it doesn't help that you're not, like, you don't have a lot of previous music experience. I think. No,
I listened to a lot of it, and that's about it. But no, because literally, my mate Carbon, who does a lot of dubstep stuff, he tried doing screen share with me over Discord and tried to help me work out a few things on FL Studio, and I was just like, dude, I'm so fucking lost. I don't know what you're talking about. Because even like you guys were just talking about like stuff before, and I was just sitting there like, yes, I am nodding.
I once tried to teach Trent how to use the compressor for the podcast, just because I like to compress. I like to compress all the audio files so it the volume doesn't get fucked up, because I yell a lot, right? So that means there's a lot of dynamics. So I like to compress all the audio files and shit. And I try to teach Trent how to use it, and he's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I was like, you know what? Never mind, I'll do it.
Just think of it like this. You're taking your voice and you're putting it in a box that's sized to a very specific size so that it sounds the same.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's all
what
it is.
It's just how to do it.
It's like I tried to teach him how to use it, and it was just like...
Did you tell him, you're like, all right, you want to set your attack time to fast and your release time?
Yeah. And then I tried to like tell him, here's all the settings you should use for this. Like, I didn't try to explain the logistics. I was like, here's what attack time means. I didn't try that. I figured that was out of the question. I just kind of like tried to here's the settings you should do, and then he was just like, what the fuck? And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll do it.
Dude, I'm right here, guys. Jesus Christ.
Hey, wait a second.
Oh yeah.
Well,
I was actually going to continue that. I'll go for it.
I was just gonna say, I don't know. Do you have an Apollo?
I do not have an Apollo. I want one though. They look awesome.
So I have an Apollo Twin. So right now I'm actually recording with compression already on my voice because that's part of the. It's I don't know if you know.
Is it a built-in feature on the Apollo?
Yeah, so you can like pull up the mixer and you can like live have like an 1176, a 2A or whatever, just recorded with your voice, and it's
that's really handy.
Made by them who make those compressors. So it's
like a VST or whatever you're using, like pre compressor.
It's a preamp, but it's a digital preamp, but it's just
nice.
Next level. It's crazy. It's like next level.
Yeah, the Apollos look insane. They look awesome.
They are. They're expensive, but they're worth it though. They're really nice.
They look great. I think if I ever do get an interface upgrade, it's either going to be that or like maybe a Scarlet, but I want an Apollo.
What do you have right now?
Awesome. I have a Behringer actually. I've had it for fucking ever. Like
is it
ever
like
since
the
I've
$40
originally
one?
started. not the $40 one. It's the 2 input 4 output one, whatever that one is. I've had it like for over 3 years. It's like it's really reliable, surprisingly, and I haven't had any problems with it. But I bought it when I was it was 3 years ago, so I was 17. I didn't have any money, so I was like, well, I'm gonna do this, and so it served me very well for how much it was worth. So I can't complain.
Interfaces are so cheap now. Like my dad wanted to get one, and he bought a Behringer it was like the $40 one with like 2 inputs on it, and it sounds great. It sounds totally fine.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, no, it's interfaces can.
I
get
think mine's the
$80
version, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's the $80 version because it has 2 combo inputs.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I was actually gonna continue to
because I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, sorry, Trent. We've kind of left you behind a little bit.
I got a blue.
to be fair, we haven't talked about microphones yet. We're getting there.
Oh yeah, that'll be a whole different conversation.
What the fuck's going on? Jesus
I was gonna continue the conversation about YouTube. As someone who does a little bit more or a lot more covers, I've had a lot more videos get copyright claimed, but I'm not at the point where I can be monetized yet. So whenever I get copyright claimed, I'm just like, fuck it, whatever. I don't actually care. But like the videos that actually get claimed are like the ones I do not expect. Like some of them are the ones I expect. Like I did a Pokemon, I did an English cover of a Pokemon opening recently, and it got claimed. And I'm assuming it might be because of either the footage or whatever. It could be whatever. I don't care. But I was kind of half expecting that one to get claimed because it's like a song owned by like a Japanese artist or whatever. And then I also used some clips from the show. But I did a few months back for my April Fool's cover, my little meme cover that I did a medley of all of the Go Diego Go songs. It got copyright claimed. It got it got copyright claimed. I was like, well, apparently I sounded a little bit too much like the Go Diego Go opening. Maybe I should have tried to do something else, but I didn't look at exactly what got claimed. I'm assuming it was the opening, the opening song, because I'm guessing that was like probably one of the few things that was actually copyrighted. Although I'm assuming it's all copyrighted, but that's definitely the most recognizable out of the tunes I covered. But,
music's the fastest thing to get copyrighted every single time.
Yeah, and it's just like I was really surprised that I didn't think the Go Diego Go medley of all things was the one that was going to be copyright claimed. But
especially that one, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, right? Like cuz it's just like a smash, like it's like a mash-up medley of all the different songs, like the Rescue Pack song and all this other shit, and it's covered in like a rock style, which means most of it doesn't even sound like much like the original. So I'm like, okay, this is fine. What else got copyright claimed? I'll have my videos pulled up right now.
YouTube's a bit of a bitch like that. I mean,
yeah,
because the
Pokemon theme cover got claimed. Obviously, that makes sense.
That's the whole reason I asked the initial question, because it's just like I know musicians have, especially either cover artists or musicians that don't like they do original music, but like with you guys and with you and Fable. Creating music that's based on a topic, I'm sure footage of that would have been claimed at least once or twice. But you bring up the whole thing about how anime doesn't really get claimed that very often. Like, but
anime and video games don't get claimed. Like
I thought one of your Venom songs would have gotten claimed, but you said Marvel was good.
Ooh, so wait, what was it? Maybe no, it didn't get claimed. But the reason why you're talking about Parasite, right?
Yeah. Didn't you do more than one Venom song? I remember.
I have done a few of them. So like the Parasite was the first one, and that one the video has footage, but it's blurred out with a logo in front of it. And I did that for that specific reason, so that it wouldn't get claimed. I did the same thing for "Holding On," which was another Venom song that I did. That you just with movie stuff, unless it's like Marvel's like always a guarantee, but with other movies, like you just never know. And they will claim quick. Yeah.
Now Parasite. Yeah. Ooh, good stuff. Ooh, big fat. Dude. Thank you. Yeah. I'm sure it'd be weird to have a mid-conversation with someone. It's just like, oh, by the way, everything you do is awesome. It's just like, well, cool, but why? Okay, cool, thanks. I'm sure.
I always appreciate it. I was saying earlier, it's so funny. I don't take compliments very well just because I usually don't know what to say other than thank you. So
No,
people
that's
like
fair.
someone recently was complimenting me on something, and I just was kind of like, "This is lovely."
Literally
I never
the-
get compliments because I never know how to handle it.
The first time I saw a book review on my book, I was just like, "Whoa, dude!" I was just like, "Okay,
Right? When you
what do I
get
do?
actual feedback on your shit, it's like, whoa,
The fuck?
holy fuck.
It's just- yeah, especially compared to YouTube comments. Like, Jesus Christ.
Are you kidding me? That's the
are
best source of feedback.
YouTube comments are tough because especially when you do it long enough and you get YouTube comments every single day, it really
Yeah.
desensitizes you to the fact that that is a person. So
Our
much
fucking-
so.
Yeah.
Dude, our fucking first comment on a video on FireStorm podcast was just "Ree," and that was it. It was REEEE, and I was just like, "What the fuck are you doing with your life?"
Someone actually typed that. Like you
Ah,
don't. You
just a
doesn't.
legend.
Sometimes it just doesn't register. You know.
We're just like, this is. Come on, we're trying to start up a podcast here, and you're just coming in with the "re." It's just like, fuck. Oh, it's bullshit. So yeah,
And you know what? Especially when you're doing stuff, even like in any way related to video games or anime, it's one of like the few. Well, I say few. Like it's one of the like kind of demographics where it's really hard to please everyone. Like what you're doing is not going to please everyone. You are going to get some people who go out of their way that'd be like, "Wow, your shit is weird," or "Your shit sucks." Whatever. It's just like you're not going to be able to please everyone. It's just not possible. But
Right.
What's the most interesting comment you've had on a video, Alex?
Oh man.
do you have a response ready for this?
I actually do. It's funny.
He's got it pinned up on his wall. Like, I've been waiting for this day.
Okay. I still have this, and this is okay. You know the game Far Cry 5?
Yes.
Yes.
Now, I want to say before I read this comment, I am not at all bashing any religion or anything. Okay, I just want to say that to start with.
Oh, this build up.
Oh my gosh, I couldn't
keen.
believe.
You're
this
gonna fit
comment.
right in. You're gonna fit right in.
So okay, Far Cry 5. You know what the game's about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Generally, yeah.
Okay, so for anyone that doesn't know, you're pretty much this dude that goes into this place. There is like a cult, and you're trying to take the cult leader, and like it's just insane. Like he's telling everyone like carve your sins into your skin and all this stuff. It's supposed to be like extremely over the top, and doesn't
obviously.
represent any specific thing. It's like it's a video game for God's sakes. Okay, so I get this
It's a
comment,
goddamn video game.
and honestly, this is one of my favorite songs I've ever made. And I was always so proud of it, but I got a comment, and I'll never forget this. This is 9 months ago. I got a comment. Actually, I sorry, and not to build this up too much more, but just before I read that comment, I'm just going to see, so I could tell you the.
What was the song
Hold
actually?
on.
Because I think I might have missed a few of your songs when going. Like, because one thing I do with artists when I look for them, I like go through all their old music.
Oh.
God damn it, Gus! I go through all their old music,
Sorry.
and like I listen to as many songs as I can. I might have missed your Far Cry 5 song. What was it called?
It was called "The Blind."
The Blind. Okay.
So I'm just going to read some of these lyrics to you because the thing I'm talking about in the song
Need
is
like context.
Yeah, just a bit of context because the person is specifically talking about my song. But like I said, this game is about trying to take down a cult leader in this just insane following that claims all these things. So just
It's
to
like
read
very
some,
over the top, obviously like over exaggerated
Right.
stuff.
Extremely
Yeah.
over the top. It's not focusing on an actual religion or group. So anyways, just some of my lyrics. I say, this hollowed ground goes far and wide, stained with blood and the innocent who've cried. A broken mind has seduced the blind. Follow he who will grant the divine. And then let's see. These lies are fed to the weak who need something to believe. Be saved, confess your sins, enslave the strength within. Bear the mark and close your eyes. Rest now within your compromise built on lies. So, you know, a lot of people when they see this, if they had no context, they would just assume I'm talking about like Christianity or something, saying that, you know, you're weak and this is why you need this. But I'm talking specifically about these people that follow this guy because, you know, they're blind, they're weak, they don't understand. Anyways,
Obviously, yeah.
getting to the point, this person comments, This song is a bold, bold lie. If anyone listens to this and thinks of Christianity, it's a complete twisted lie. Don't base your beliefs on what faith is from a video game. I implore you to pick up the Bible and read the gospel for yourself and make your own decisions without your own decision about what faith in Christ actually is. Of course, the troll part of me wanted just to be a troll.
I would have been right there with you. I would have been right there with you.
But at the same time, I don't want to represent myself to be, I don't want to be a troll at the same time. As much as I wanted, the personal part of me wanted to be, but I was like, this is actually a brand now. I need to be respectful, and I don't want to start anything. So I just said back to them.
You do have to keep a positive image for the public,
right? Exactly, because I want to make sure that no one feels a certain way, or I'm just trying to be as neutral as possible and not
just keep it open to everyone.
Because you don't want to make a joke response and then all of a sudden headlines is just like Divide Music is a Christianity racist. I don't know. He hates all religions. Just you don't. It makes complete sense, but
right,
dude. How can you take lyrics? How can you take lyrics from a video game so out of context?
So this is what I said back to them. I said, I appreciate your comment. I just want to make
no,
it.
I don't. That's just.
I fucking don't.
I said, I appreciate your comment. I just want to make it clear and known that I wrote this about a fictional cult from a video game. In no way am I speaking on any faith outside the fantasy of Far Cry 5. And then someone 7 months ago commented,
response, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's solid. That's formal and solid.
Genuinely, that is probably the best response you could have given. That is very good.
It's formal and solid.
Well. You handled that very well.
They didn't. They responded, but then they deleted their tweet. They deleted their comment. They said something like, they just kept going. They were just angry. They said something like, "This is blasphemous" or something. I don't even know. But it was just, in my mind, it was still funny how I responded because I made sure to make it known that this is a fantasy. This is a video game. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
But
it feels like their anger should be more directed at Far Cry 5 and not.
Yeah, right.
Well, here's another question: how the hell did they find my song? And then what made them want to comment on? It's just so funny.
How did they end up at a Far Cry 5 song?
I just love to imagine. No. I just love to imagine they were jamming out to the whole song, and then they're just listening. They just heard those lyrics, and they're just like, "No, wait a minute!"
Immediately triggered.
Blasphemous! No.
Yeah, exactly.
How dare you say that about the Lord Jesus?
Jesus Christ. No, anyway, that is
slander the good name of Christ.
Quite a tale. Jesus. It's just that's the one thing about YouTube comments. I admit, at least for me, my comments have been civil. If it's not one of my mates, which I know one of my mates trolling me, it's always either if I do album reviews or anything like that. It's always constructive feedback and stuff like that, and it's always good opinions. So I have been fairly good with YouTube comments, but I know, even just from a brief conversation with Gus, I know musicians would cop it a lot harder, especially cover artists. I could just imagine, the Japanese was better, man. Just fucking.
Then listen to the fucking Japanese, you idiot. Anyway.
Well, yeah, it's there's a funny bit from, I'm sure you've heard it, from Ricky Gervais saying, how the culture is now. It's like someone going into a town square, seeing that a advertisement for guitar lessons, calling them and saying, "I don't want guitar lessons."
Yeah. Why would you advertise that? I don't want guitar lessons. Are you kidding me?
Because it's so self-focused. It's just everyone just looks at it. It's just no, I don't want that. I'm going to let them know that. It's just
right.
Well, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't be a dick.
And you know what? I will say, in recent times especially, I've had it's not really constructive comments per se, but the comments from, around 3 years ago up until have drastically changed to how they are now, because I posted some. I mentioned this to Trent in another episode of the podcast. But when I first started my vocal covers, I was really young, and I didn't. My voice wasn't fully developed, and I still was still only just learning how to sing. So, and I'd only been practicing for probably about a year, maybe 2, and so when I was 17 and I posted like some vocal covers, they got a lot of like harsh comments and stuff. But now, recently, I've been getting pretty much nothing but positive feedback, which is a huge change. And it's not really feedback, but it's more like just like,
Good
hey,
job.
I like this. Yeah, pretty much, and that English cover that I posted of the Pokemon opening recently is like, I've gotten some comments saying like, hey, this is the best English cover I've heard, etc., etc. Like it's changed a lot since since those days from way back when, over yonder the rainbow or whatever the fuck. But yeah, I've been really fortunate to build like this, even like fairly small but like very positive community around my music, which is really nice.
Nice.
Well, I reckon, funnily enough, Alex, Divide.
What the fuck?
Funnily enough, I also need to get on the move on as well. We've been chatting for a nice hour, and I think this is a great place to end, unless anyone else has anything else to add to this. Look, this went way off the rail towards anime. Like, you know what? This was the everything episode, and I don't care. This was the everything
It was great.
episode.
I asked at the very beginning. I was like, "Do you guys have any context?" And he's like,
No.
Or like, did any structure?
This is how we normally record our shit, pretty much.
We have a conversation, and it works out. And you know
Yeah.
what? I think this has worked out very well.
Alex, I actually did want to ask you some real quick as a fellow musician. What do you have any like big musical inspirations,
Oh man,
like bands or anything like that, artists, etc.
bands. Okay, I'll try and
Like
make
what
this quick.
like inspired your style? Like what kind of bands inspired your style and all that?
So when I first started playing guitar, the biggest band inspiration, I knew how to play every single one of their songs. It's kind of generic, but was Metallica. Like they were the reason why I started
Nice.
playing guitar.
Good shout.
And it went on from there to bands like Children of Bodom, progressing on from there, because that was like the more symphonic metal stuff. And then in somewhat past recent years, if that makes sense, bands, I don't know if you've heard of like Intervals or like Periphery,
Intervals.
like the more like gent
Periphery,
style.
good shout. Yeah, I love Periphery.
Like a lot of stuff like that really inspired me. I ended up getting a 7-string guitar a while ago. I don't have it anymore, but I was like really into like that technical, more rhythmic, just kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So like guitar wise, that would definitely be kind of where that's at. Also bands like Breaking Benjamin and all that kind of stuff. Even though it's
Good
not
shout.
right?
Love
They're
Breaking
not
Benjamin.
like
Love
guitar
Breaking Benjamin.
crazy, but they're just really talented writers. So
Yeah, they're just like their compositions are just very solid. Like their music isn't like complicated at all. It's just very simple and to the point, and it gets the point across. It's very good.
yeah, no,
And
definitely.
Ben has a great voice too.
Oh yeah. Oh dude, no, it's awesome.
It is awesome.
So
You-
yeah, like,
dude, you ready for their acoustic album? Do you see they have an acoustic album coming out?
no, I didn't. That's
Yeah,
cool.
dude, it's coming out in January next year. It's got a bunch of like featured artists and stuff.
Oh shit.
It
That'd be
looks
cool.
really. It's like it's all reimagined. Like there's pretty much their biggest hits on there. It looks to be really good.
nice.
There's a bunch of pre-orders and stuff. So yeah,
This-
if you're interested,
can I-
definitely check that out because I think I'm gonna pre-order it.
Dude, there's
looks-
a dog
it's
that's
gonna
so
be really
excited
good.
about this right now.
Yeah, sorry, that's my dog.
Yeah,
that's
right.
That's because
I didn't know
gotta
talking
go,
about Breaking
so-
Benjamin was gonna get your dog excited, Trent.
No, well, that's because someone's at the door, and I literally gotta go. So, anyway.
Oh yeah.
Divide. Even though you are smashing it into the subscriber game compared to us, do you have anything to plug?
Anything to plug? This is coming out after my song releases, so go back and listen to my Attack on Titan song.
We'll link to
Unknown.
it in the description. I think
Yeah, we'll link to it. We'll
maybe
do that.
if we remember.
Awesome. No,
And well, thank you very much again.
Feel
for
free to
joining
come
us,
back
for this
anytime. It was
episode.
great to chat with you.
yeah, no,
Yes.
totally.
Feel free, man. And yes, and also to you guys, don't forget to check out Firestorm Pod on Twitter and Facebook at Firestorm Pod.
And if you want to email us questions or suggestions, #bars, please send us an email at firestormproductions2@gmail.com. That's no caps in the number 2. That's my little thing I came up with. I got questions or suggestions. That's my
I'm gonna let you overwrite and do that from now on, because I always make bad transitions. Go ahead. Again, thank you very much, Alex, and Gus. Do the outro.
Okay, thank you all for listening. Again, thank you, Alex, for coming on and dealing with us for over a fucking hour. I don't know how you managed that. Impressive. But,
claps all around.
Yeah, claps all around for that. Well done. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook at FireStorm Pod. Send us an email. Alex, plug your Twitter.
At Music Divide.
Okay, at Music Divide, follow that shit. And that's that'll do it from us. Thank you for tuning into the special. Alex, we hope to have you back on the show at some point in the future to chat about some other random shit like we did here. It was a great time. Yep. So again, thank you all for listening, and we will see you all very soon back on the regular Firestorm podcast on Wednesday.
All right.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye.